Great, that means we're gonna have it at the same time. 9 a.m. Pacific is just, what, noon Eastern, right? And alright, navigate to the handsome Jackpot. So they're gonna have us go to new zones. I didn't really like the last Borderlands show. I watched parts of it last night. Anthony's a really cool guy. He was part of the Battleborn team. But I'm disappointed they're like not gonna do Evervescence and they're not gonna do Pearlescence. I think that those would be really cool. I would love to see an Emerald set. I would love to see more gear, more rarities. I want stuff to go for, man. So they're just holding their cards really close to their chest right now, though. That's a big part of it. So I'm gonna just continue to hope big stuff's coming in the future because they weren't very talkative yesterday. We did not learn too much from yesterday's show, which is understandable. I guess they mostly do that for the coders. It's so that it's not so much the NDA stuff. It's more so not making a promise that your programmers can't necessarily keep. Some people, but completely off topic, they're completely like bothered by microphone in the shot. I'm not. Some people hate that. I guess someday when we have like the highest classed audio stuff, we won't have to worry about it. But for now, I fight my audio every day, so that's pretty cool. Kind of spoiled it from yesterday with the Borderlands show, but yeah, I like that it's a diamond. It's very, to be fair, it's, here we can just go here. It's super similar to these, and these I think are the coolest. When you fly to these areas and you get to see that cube, we're gonna ignore relativity, by the way. Like 1,000 years would have passed. It would be really cool to actually see a game deal with relativity, and you could do it with a procedural engine. Pretty similar, right? Maybe not so similar, but I think the same kind of idea. Just a big object in space. These were cool. I was actually, like, really pleasantly surprised the first time I saw those. I thought, whoa, that's really, really cool. I want to get down there and do those trials. Trials are cool. They're a good feature. Strong feature. Like you fly by them. Anyway, let's go to the handsome Jackpot. So we'll probably run this again tomorrow. I'm thinking with Justin. I think he's going to be around. And I'll probably run it on like Flak or something. With the years out, I'd like at least one more character to beat a 50. Probably going to be a Mari. Or a Mara. Sorry. It bothers the shit out of some people, but we all know my enunciation could use a enunciation. Because. Not because. Because. This is actually, you know, I thought that this place was useless, and it still is mostly useless. But it's not as useless as I once believed it to be, because epics with the right anointments are actually really, really good. You just gotta pay attention to them, and I would love to see more of that stuff too. Alright, you really are sold out. Why does it always say new Echo themes then? Dude, Hermes does not have a walk animation, he just glides along. There is equal proportions hate and love for Borderlands on the internets, on the YouTube as the year comes down. Okay, here we go.
Some people say it's the root of all evil.
I just wanna let everybody hear me say, I don't wanna be no puppet on a string.
Those people are freaking idiots. Money rules.
I'm surprised they didn't like hire a different voice actor just to stir the pot.
You know what sucks? Everything. All the time. There's wars, there's poors, and not enough fire in the galaxy to burn it all down. That's why I built my ultimate getaway, the handsome Jackpot. You're welcome. I, by myself and me alone with no one's help at all, combined Hyperion's most advanced space station engineering with the most opulent casino the galaxy has ever seen. The only thing that's better looking than this place is me, baby, and you're not going to be able to look in any direction without seeing this handsome mug. Spend your money in the lap of luxury. Your every whim catered to by
I like the music.
automated staff of robots. Full service. I'm looking at you, robo perverts. Stuff your fat, greasy mitt with caviar, like you know what that is, and let it hang open in wonder as you behold the greatest live entertainment money can buy. The handsome Jackpot. Once you're here,
I can't believe we're to the first
you're
DLC
never
already.
gonna wanna leave.
Seems like, ooh, spooky,
Jack's
spooky
dead.
skeletons and shivers
But
up
he
your
left some
spine.
things behind. I want that casino. Ready to bring down the house, sugar?
Moxie's like Tom Cruise. She just doesn't age. She refuses to age. And some Jackpot. Again, I cannot believe we're at the first DLC already. This is crazy to me. I did not think... I feel like we're still waiting for Borderlands 3 to come out. I wish there was an animation for the drop pod. That makes no freaking sense. How is it in here? There's no ceiling? I mean, there's still a ceiling. Like, I feel like it needs to be more of a beam, like Star Trek. I mean, they already have these digital systems. You digistruct everywhere. You digistruct when you respawn. You digistruct when you fast travel. Why can't we just beam down like Star Trek? Why is there a drop pod? Especially a drop pod that apparently fell through the ceiling without harming it? Whatever. I want VIP access. Does the slot machine start early? Oh, you can, wait, you can smash them? I don't really see a difference. I wonder if there's some actual, like, mini games programmed into it this time, because that'd be kind of cool. So those hold iridium. Hopefully this DLC's got some endgame in it to be, so it can continue to be a standby for the community. Let me make sure that the sound's up, because we've never heard this before. They always do unique music, so let's embrace the game audio today. That might be a little loud, we'll see.
On lockdown when Handsome Jack met the business end of a vault hunter 7 years ago. Who knows what's been happening inside?
Alright, so she hasn't been here for 7 years. Jack left scars on all of us. Got it. Oh, there he is. It's cool to see him in Borderlands 3. Remastered.
Maybe if you get real lucky like me, you get a big win. Probably not, but maybe. And maybe is all you need. Isn't it? I'm having t-shirts made up that say that.
He was probably ready because, like they talked about, they were gonna bring back Handsome Jack. Which they did multiple times in the DLC, and I feel like that was part of this game's problem, though, too, with the story, is that I feel like they've already told Lilith's story. They told it in the Dungeons and Dragons DLC, and they told it again in the Commander Lilith DLC, and they decided to tell it again in a much, much longer format in this one. Ooh. I don't mind Ava, though. People hate Ava. I mean, come on, she's like Anakin. She's gonna be superstar. Or she's gonna be a brat and get into trouble, but she's gonna grow up with everybody. That's gonna be the idea, I think, is have the character grow up with us. Though, they may just embrace Tiny Tina, I don't know. There's been so much backlash. I don't know, you gotta open everything, it's a habit. So yeah, he's still like... He's still a better villain, you know? When he's calling you dum-dum, it's like, you fucker. I'm gonna go shoot you. Okay, so we're gonna be at the mercy here of, like, Saul. Into the casino, spin the wheel. Okay, you got it. It's on his mouth, that's weird. It's kind of terrifying, actually. How does he know we're a Vault Hunter? I guess he did kill a bunch of them. The music's good. I'm liking the music so far. And now these are the loaders. I'm surprised they moved the crit spot. I was totally ready to like hit him slightly to the right, but apparently they made a big change to the sphere bots today too, the Dyson sphere things. We might go for the, if we have some time, I don't know how long this DLC is gonna be. I might go try to farm up some stuff for a TDR build as well. I've been wanting a little bit of extra deeps. I'm glad to kill these robots again. Some people got sick of them in Borderlands 2. I was not one of those people. I always enjoyed shooting the hell out of these robots, actually.
Of every one of those loader bots just went on your tab. Now you're dead to the jackpot, you know?
Abbott, I gotta send this to anybody who needs it. I should have dropped some stuff off of my bank. I usually just give it to my nephew. He likes to play around with his items. Once you're in, you can never leave. Wonder if this thing's any good. Let's try it out.
You're never getting out.
Yes. Yes, you've gone over this. I feel like you've said this before.
Jack for you. Dead 7 years and still trying to screw us. But don't worry about that. Once I'm in charge of the casino.
Rebounds. It's better than most of these Torg rifles. At least it isn't like
After being stranded all this time.
pew pew like Kid Ultra's little laser buster thing.
I've got a lot riding on you.
Open all the things. Open all the things. Tell me these have higher drop rates, because that would be cool. That would make these more worth than all the other ones. I'm not even gonna grab that white. You should let us loot his junk. We've asked that about that multiple times. They're like always like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. We've never heard that one before. We want to loot his junk so we can make money. So I can still pick up this bad gear and go sell it. I want that gameplay loop. I still want to feel like I'm making progress even when I get shitty loot, because most of the time we get shitty loot. That's why, personally, I don't know why they nerfed the drop rates as bad as they did. Because it's like, yeah, okay, you get a bunch of legendaries, you throw away 90% of them. Oh well, still on the right track. Villager. Seems to do pretty alright damage. Granted, we're in Mayhem 1, so might not be the best place to judge whether it's or not it's doing good.
Someone else. Won't give them up easily.
I'm gonna use it though. I don't know if I have a Torg thing. We could actually be kind of hunting achievements while we kill this shit mindlessly and enjoy the story. I'm just gonna play on Mayhem 1 just to enjoy the story, and then we'll up the Mayhems after that if we feel like. That's what we want to do next. That's what we'll do. Focused. I hope a new raid boss is in here. The first DLC they did for Borderlands 2 had 2 raid bosses. But they're doing raids with like these takedowns now, which is cool. So maybe there's a takedown style thing in here. Maybe there's a raid in here. Anything. Some endgame needs to be in here, I think. It's a neat environment. I want to love this, believe me, because they have such a good history with DLC. Dr. Ned's Zombie Island is still my favorite DLC ever for a game. So, I'm hoping. I'm hoping. That's weird. There was another exclamation mark there. I'm going to go back, actually. I want to see what this is all about. That looks like an iridium slab. It's probably just repurposed. They're good at that. Oh, it's actually up. We may not be able to get to it yet. Oh no, there's a staircase here. Overall, I'm liking the look of it. It's got that abandoned space station feel to it. I'm sure I've gotten a package. Speaking of achievements, I'm sure I've gotten a package from Doll. Oh, here we go. You're still gambling here 7 years later. Alan's on a losing streak, but with your help, maybe he can turn his luck around.
Whoever you are, because I'm friggin' bad luck. But you, buddy, you're just oozing good luck. I can feel it. Name's Alan. Friends call me All In Alan. Help me get back in Lady Luck's good graces, and I'll make you freaking rich. So, you in? I'm all in, Steven. Ah, I'm just kidding, Alan. Notice me, senpai! Not with my luck. Like they say, if Lady Luck ain't smiling on you, you better get her attention. You know the Wild Deuces? Nearby gambling gang, real professionals. Their leader, Bruce the Deuce, is a buddy of mine.
Bruce the Deuce.
I lent him my little jacket. Time to get it back. After Jack died, the casino went on lockdown. Brucey was all pockets, and I saved his life. He's lucky I came along. So Bruce better give that Jabberfoot back, or he's going snake eyes. Meaning,
Dead, real dead. Okay.
something about Lady Luck.
Oh.
When she smiles on you, money flies right into your hands like you're a freaking magnet. You fall out of her favor in this casino, you're dead meat. But she's a classy broad.
You can look at me when you speak. It's okay.
I'm talking some
You don't have to be afraid.
a candle. That's it. Romance.
Looks like it's right here. Something that I've noticed as I've gone through this game a few times now is you go ahead and do the side missions because they tend to be really close. I would put them off because I figured, okay, I'm gonna have to run around, but very much like Borderlands 2, they usually just unlock stuff that's helpful for you right there
Luck ran out.
and just do them right there. Ooh.
Don't see the lucky Jabberfoot, but grab that horseshoe. Might have some luck on it. Bruce don't need it no more.
I wish they would have upped the level cap for this. That would have been even more exciting.
It's in the casino. I'm talking a 7-leaf clover. I'm talking a silver skag. Might as well grab them.
But at least there's new loot in here.
Lady Luck's fancy.
Oh, hey.
Jack was alive. I was a big shot, a high roller. Comped everything. VIP access to the executive lounge. Cash out the wazoo. When you gamble in this casino, it's for keeps.
They wear Jack's mask.
It's a goddamn nightmare. Who'd have thought so many people in the casino would have weapons? Where did they all come from? I mean, I know where mine came from. I had to choke a man to death and pry it from his dead hand. But it's mine now. It keeps me safe. It's all I have. I already spent most of the money I had left on food and water. Freaking vultures took control of the supply and gouged the rest of us. I think it's time to break my rule and join one of the gangs.
How could you, Alan? So just like the rest of Pandora, it's the people who were here, the gamblers got abandoned, and now they formed gangs. Ooh, things are getting a little more intense here. Some of that might be because we're using Juliet's Dazzle. I mean, when it hits, it does good damage. The projectiles are just tough. Holy crap. That would be even more amazing if it was +4 on the bird. We've already got one of the class mods, though. So, hell yeah. Gotta say, before the year's out, I'd like to at least get one other character to 50 and do their playthrough. Where the hell did this guy go? Oh. He's as confused as I am, apparently. So I am confusion. Okay. We're doing good.
Yes!
Yay, good luck charms.
I just found $1 in
Yes.
the toilet.
Yes.
I'm feeling lucky tonight. Nice work, you lucky bastard, you.
Whoops. 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 There we go. Okay.
Well, shame about Bruce and the others. Wonder where that Jabberfoot ended up though. At least we got a few lucky trinkets to try out. And all in Alan is feeling lucky. Come on back.
Oh, hey, we won. A blue thing. Oh. The music was cool though. Slide everywhere you go. It's a rule. It's a rule of Borderlands 3. The more you slam the B button, the better.
Holy crapola! I can feel the luck, like, emanating from you.
I'm sure this is going to be just a gun charm.
Toilet, had a few friggin' friends. All yours.
Wait, that's the whole quest?
That's the sweet bouquet of luck, baby. Okay, now, place those lucky charms.
Oh, yes. There you are, friend. There you are. I'm sure you're gonna gamble. Go, man.
Okay, it's time. I'm gonna go all in.
He's gonna die.
May luck shine on me. What? No! This can't be happening! What have I done? Lady Luck, why have you forsaken me? I got dead oozing out my freaking ear holes here! I need my lucky Jabberfoot or I'm dead meat!
Alan, you unlucky SOB! I'll put you out of your
Golden bullion.
I'm the one who cooked Bruce the Deuce's goose! I'm the one who
Bruce the
Jabberfoot,
Deuce.
And you're totally right! It is lucky! I've got so much cash I'm wiping my ass with it, Alan! Hear that? That's the sound of me wiping my ass with your cash, you dope!
I knew that jerk was behind this! Okay, okay. New plan. Go to his place and get that damn Jabberfoot back.
Oh, how kind of you, Alan! Sending that fresh new meal ticket our way? Yeah, I'll take that action! Get ready, boys and girls! We're about to have a visit!
This one's worth being rich for, just so you can constantly hit the slot machines. I like the music so far. I like the sound effects so far. This quest has been okay so far. You'll never want to leave. Like the art direction.
That bastard's got my lucky
Ooh,
Jabberfoot!
this is a neat area.
I don't even have
It's
the
Scrooge
Jabberfoot,
McDuck.
I threw it in the garbage chute after my big win!
They went with the flat 2D texture,
You
but
did what?
you gotta do what you gotta do, even though it doesn't look as good on the hills, does it?
Kill him if you
Like, if they would have done more of this, because that gives it a 3D effect when they kind of sprinkle those in there. Oh, we got a badass event. Alright. It's Mayhem 1. Oh, go. Wait. Oh, go. Ah, you guys actually got to be the mini boss. If someone's in here watching this, someone just got to be the mini boss. That's interesting. No participants. Never mind. Good morning, brother. How you doing? It be Dak. What up, man? I'm doing better than good, and I'm doing better than most. How are you, Dak? Thanks for being here. Enjoying the DLC early, because it was on the Microsoft Rewards page for some reason. So we'll get to play through it today. I kind of forgot today was the release date anyway. My dates are so out of whack. But hey, thanks for being here, Dak. How are you? I hope you're good. Doing well, just grinding to work. Sweet. Well, I appreciate you coming in here, and I hope you're having a good day at work, my man. You get a holiday break for your job? You know, they claim these earbuds are supposed to be super comfortable because they go behind your ear, and I'm yet to see it. I can't say I'm a fan.
Not there. It's not freaking there.
He claimed he had it. It's got to be near.
Luck is luck and a foot's a foot.
There's got to be a way to get up there.
Everybody knows luck collects in the feet.
That's expensive. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. It's accounting. Oh, nice. How good can a day be? I do have a break. Just have to get through Monday and Tuesday next week. And then what, you get Wednesday... Long weekend, maybe? Wednesday through the weekend? Yeah, come in here with money. Do the freaking money barrel thing if it's still around, because this is not going to be a cheap DLC, I can see. It's a bunch of VIP access stuff. You're probably going to have to do it every time you come back in here. And that is going to add up. Oh, you get a red chest. Reload speed. We've already gotten one of the class mods for the DLC. I took off Thursday, Friday, so I'll have a long weekend. Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear it, Dak. Will be nice, sir. Right here. If we would have got 4 on the bird, that would have been amazing. But Flak gained another amazing mod. Whenever Flak scores a critical hit, they gain increased weapon damage. Come on, man. Why? Why can Zane not get any love? Gearbox. Why? Another amazing mod for Flak. We're gonna have to level him up. The camera is not handling the harsh winter daylight very well, is it? Hey, there it is.
Great. Now bring that lucky bastard's foot to me. I got a date with Lady Luck, and I'm bringing my candle.
So if the side quests are there, I'm gonna grab them. Because like I said, what I've learned from doing a couple playthroughs now is, well, 3. But I've learned do the side quests because they're really close. They've designed them like like Borderlands 2. I was holding off on them, figuring it was gonna take a lot of backtracking. That's not at all the case. It's not bad at all. It's just do it right there, and it usually helps you in multiple ways. Either, you know, of course, XP, money when you're leveling, but like access to another elevator or door or fast travel point usually. Snowy where you are, it was last week. We got about 2, almost 3 inches of snow, I'd say, but it's supposed to be up in the 50s now. Here, anymore, like our worst months are February and January. How about you, Dak? Whereabouts are you, man? What's it like in your neck of the woods? Alright, here he goes. Let's see how he does. It worked. Take his money and run. It was all the foot. It wasn't RNG at all. I feel like they could be making a self-aware joke here about RNG. Down here in Kansas, 5 inches a few days ago. Damn, it's been cold, really. Has it been worse than usual in Kansas, Dak? Regaining one's feet. Oh, we got a shield. It just took one run at it for him to be rich. Dude. I am so washed out, it is not even funny. I have no idea what to do about it. I know what to do about it, actually. We're just not gonna get daylight. There, a little less daylight. Enough for the green screen, but... And let's mess with it a little bit more, because it's bothering me, man. It's way worse than what it should be. This is not really helping, is it? We increase the sharpness, it makes you look like you're 5,000 years old. Or I'll try to have a little bit of color again. Whatever. It's better than what it was. Not, well, a little bit. A little bit. Oh, it's pretty seasonable weather, really. So Kansas has hard winters then, huh? Light up the world. What's the epic shield we got? It's gotta be unique. It's always a unique. Agus All In with marshmallow bits. When damage has a 15% chance to drop a booster that increases luck. Interesting. When damage has a 25% chance to drop a booster that increases action skill cooldown rate by 50% for 10 seconds. 30% chance to absorb bullets as ammo. That's really good. And I'm going to run it because it goes within our build. We're using the stopgap solution on our shield to mimic the current shield we have equipped. And so we get many, many boosters. Alright, back to the main story. We need that $3,000. It's important, stream. It's important.
Casino by a mile. If I know Jack, and I'm ashamed to say I did, that's where we can find the keys to the
Is that Butt Stallion?
There's supposed to be a subway connecting
There are slot machines everywhere in this DLC. Everywhere.
the main strip.
Alright, go to Jack's Tower. Take subway to the Spendicon. That's a cool name. Wait, is this a chest? Oh, it's the Dungeon Keep chest, basically, except you gotta spend money for them now. Whatever, I'll do it. Oh, wait. Are we playing 21? Oh, there, much better. 2 and 8, okay. So we're playing 21. Nice. Hit me. I'll stand on 20. That's cool. I like that. I wish it would close up and you'd get to try again since it costs money, but that, okay. Brownie points for that. That's a good one. I'm glad it wasn't just a dice. Not harsh winters, just spurts of snow and cold. We have constant in our weather, really. So you guys don't have like, even in the summer, can you guys get really cold? We have fairly set seasons, but Ohio is also one of those where you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. I'll keep opening these doors, but you freaking want cash before you do this DLC. That's the first thing about this that I'm learning. Because all the good stuff fitting to Handsome Jack and his greed is behind closed doors. Oh, a bar. Wonder if there's any dead claptraps in this DLC. This is why we need Luta's junk gearbox. You guys see, oh, that's a neat idea. I'm not really sure we're gonna do it though, because this is not all that important. Look, I will grab these. Just let me loot them as junk so I can go sell them. You've given us this option to junk stuff, which is good. So we can make it easier for us to sell. Just go one extra step. Oh no, it's hot and humid all summer. Okay, so you definitely have set seasons, I see.
I passed my initiation and now
Salty
I'm a
germs.
not-so-proud member of the Chips Down gang. I had to smash open a slot machine and then outrun security. I almost didn't make it. Maybe sort of wishing I didn't, but here we are. Anyway, they tell me we're at war with the High Stakes clan and things are coming to a head. Guess I've got to get my hands dirty again. Damn this place.
So this place is like Pandora in a microcosm because it was abandoned by Jack when he died. And all the people who were still here gambling were left behind and they formed gangs.
You're gonna be lucky to walk out here with this shirt on your back, which it's an ugly shirt anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you're gonna get so bleak.
I heard that Timothy comes back for this one though. I hope he's not a villain.
You're that stupid.
I hope he's not a villain because he was probably the most likable outside of Athenas in the pre-sequel. And he was a cool character. I mean, he sacrificed himself for his family. You could empathize with that character. So I hope they don't ruin him. You know, the Baroness, they kept a villain and you kill her off. I can accept it. Makes sense. Hope they don't kill off Timothy. Since I was in stream last, I never got to hear your thoughts on D2 since Shadowkeep. Oh, I haven't gotten it. I have not bought anything for Destiny since Destiny 2's launch and the season pass. I felt really ripped off. I felt like in brief, I feel like I bought the ticket and I rode the ride for 5 years or whatever it was. I think it came out in 2007, 2009, somewhere in there. I don't know. Maybe it was like 2011. And it was probably like my first year of college when Destiny starts. You know, I was patient like a lot of people and I was with it and I spent money and I stayed with it. And I really did love it. Even though I was so frustrated by so many things like the always online and the microtransactions that started to crop up. And finally I felt totally fleeced when it came to D2. having bought the season pass moment one and everything that would come to transpire. I just don't like that model. I don't like always online. I don't like microtransactions, so... T1 launched 14. Was it 2014? On principle, those are the things I'm not for in games, especially not always online. I feel like they are ruining our ownership over these games that we buy and totally changing the experience for the worst. Yeah, you're right, 2014 for us. I know it's changed a lot, and that's cool. That's good, but to me, what Bungie did during that time period represents everything that's gone wrong with the games industry. They've changed, and that's great, and I like their community. That's not against their players. I think they have an amazing community of gamers that play Destiny and are united around it. I think that's really wonderful, but when they release like Red Bull shit, you know, for double XP, and it's not actually double XP, and they lied about it, and the only way you could get the first DLC was to buy the season pass, but if you didn't buy the DLC, you got locked out of the raid. Getting hard capped on resources, getting hard capped on Glimmer, then being able to just take material out of your vault whenever you want. If the servers are offline, it's gone. You know, there's gonna come a day like what's gonna happen with Battleborn here soon, when they're gonna take the servers offline, and all the thousands of hours of work so many different people put into those games is gone forever. You can't get it back. Your save's gone. You could go to your old Xbox, you can throw a disc in there, your old Nintendo or whatever, and you can play that game. You can do it with Borderlands. You can put the disc in your Xbox and you can play this game offline if you want. And there's gonna come a day when all these amazing players played the hell out of Destiny and did some really impressive things with the game, but they're not gonna be able to even look back with nostalgia because the servers will be offline. It'll happen eventually, not anytime soon, but eventually. And I think that alone is what's wrong with it, is that you lease the game now. They've improved. I get it. You know, now they do the passes, and it's still basically on a subscription model. You pay for the whatever expansion they've got going on right then, and you get to really get the full experience, but it was so much worse under Activision. But enough was enough for me. You know, it's the whole fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me thing. I felt like I did get fooled twice. And I spent $135 on it. I got a limited gaming budget. I usually only buy like 2 games a year. And I played The Witcher 3 that same year that I'm pretty sure it was the same year I had Destiny 2. And Witcher 3 was amazing. It was just completely fleshed out. It was a great story. We could play it time and time again. I got it for 20 bucks at GameStop. And that to me, like, solidified it all in my mind. Because I paid $135 to buy Destiny 2 at launch. I go to GameStop, I get the Game of the Year edition of The Witcher 3. It's this amazing, fully rendered experience, what I could see in AAA gaming, storytelling, action, gameplay-wise. And we were still here 5-6 years later, waiting for Destiny to meet what it had promised, and they kept saying, but you gotta spend more money. This is gonna be really the time, you know, this is gonna be, we're finally gonna get it right. All the things that we promised are coming. And maybe they're finally starting to reach that point, but for me, I'd waited 5 years, I'd spent hundreds of dollars on it. I have to say, enough is enough for me. But thanks for respecting the opinion, hear me out. I'm going to assume you're a Destiny player, Dak. I have to imagine you are. It seems like you've got opinions on it too, so where are you with Destiny at this point? You heard me out, let me hear you out. And I constantly am fighting with this thing anymore. Okay. I've always agreed that there should be an offline mode. Yeah, well, I definitely agree with you on that. I think that's core to any game. Unless it's an MMORPG. Only in the case of an MMORPG. And I know Destiny's an MMO light, but it's not actually an MMO, okay? And I also think that even MMO should have offline modes. I don't agree with what they did with classic WoW when there was that server and you know, Blizzard took it down. Games are software. And I think once you buy the software, because I definitely don't believe in piracy, like any other piece of software, you ought to be able to basically do with it what you want within reason. Not really noticing a big change in our luck from using this. Yeah, I mean, there's still so many things you can say that Destiny does right. I know it's improved massively. I know that when I played it at the peak of D1, once it got to Taken King, I was really, really in love with that game. The shooting was still the best. You know, probably Titanfall and Doom and probably Destiny, right? Are some of the best shooters you can get on a console mechanically. I still think that there's things that Destiny does better than Borderlands, which sucks. People love to play Destiny, and I think that speaks volumes. That's all that matters. I can sit here and talk about, like, consumer ethics and consumer advocacy, and that I think microtransactions are shit, that I think always online is shit, that I think that it rips people off. But it really doesn't matter much if the game is extremely fun and amazing to play and people are addicted to it, which people tend to be pretty addicted to Destiny 2, and that means that the game must be pretty damn fun, and I see a lot people struggle to be addicted to this.
I dreamed of opening a casino. Jack even promised to bankroll it, but he turned out to be a psychopath. And
Destiny's got that loop down really, really well.
And taking it back is my way of scratching him out of my books forever.
Now, there's like always something to hunt for. There's always some powerful rule. There's always a place to test it out, whether it be the raid or the strikes or the PvP. They've just done a really great job in producing that. And I think in many ways they've done better than Borderlands here recently of producing that. People like want to log in and they want to go for a certain hand cannon. They want to do the challenge and they want to go for these rules on the purples. That's what kept me hooked. It's like, the gunsmith quests. I thought the gunsmith quests were excellent in D1. Go, you fill out these little badges. You probably did them yourself, Dak. And then you get like an experimental gun. And I remember being a part of the community on Reddit, the Destiny PvP Reddit. And everybody would talk about rules and compare notes and talk about damage. And that part was so good. And I would wake up at 6 in the morning, like, to be on it. And I think that's stuff that Borderlands still has to look at. Because so much of this is like, you're already farmed up. Anointments. Anointments are the future. Systems like anointment. I have a limited time allotment for gaming, so I pretty much only get to play D2 at this point. I only really played D1 during lunch. I hated the state I was in and dipped out. Don't blame me for that. Don't blame me for that. Yeah, see, I was patient with D1 because I wanted to stick with it. I thought that it was ambitious. I loved Halo. Many people loved Halo. I was one of them. I stuck with Halo, played all of the games, of course. Read the books, loved that franchise. And I wanted to be like, I'm going to stick with Bungie and see what they've got to offer. But the more that the game, I love Borderlands 2. It's my second favorite game ever. I love Borderlands 1. I could still play it. And the more that I saw things where Borderlands lets you just do stuff. If I want to go farm, I get to go farm. Ninja time! Yo, ninja time! Hey, thank you very much for those bits, man. It was super, super nice of you. Thank you. Thanks for being here, Ninja Time. How's Las Vegas? Borderlands, if I want to go run the boss, I can go run the boss a million times. If I want to go run missions, I can run missions. If I want to make a new character, I can make as many characters as I want. If I want to farm my ass off on the takedown all day, I can do it. If I want to run Crawl Max, I can do it. If I want to run DLC, I can do it. If I want to reset the storyline, I can do it. If I want to play offline, I can do it. And there's no microtransactions in Borderlands 3. All these are things that make for a really excellent customer experience at the very least. Because I actually feel like I own the game. I own the title, I can experience it how I want to experience it. Borderlands has always had that. And when you play Destiny, it was always online. You run the raid, and you're locked out after that. And for a long time, we didn't have a good loot system. Because, the Taken King, prior to Taken King, the loot system was really bad. I ran that raid every week with my buddies, Vaulted Glass, and it wasn't until the week House of Wolves came out, the Dark Below, that I got hit my light level 30.
Welcome to the casino.
But I played with somebody who ran the raid once and got their 30 because I got the RNG. So the whole system was based on RNG. I should probably be paying attention. But, you know, and then Bungie had quotes like, making content is too hard, we're just going to focus on microtransactions, and as I said, for me, I'm voting with my wallet. For me, it's a stand on principle. I don't agree with things that Bungie did from a business perspective. I think that it's got a great community. I think that Borderlands is the way that games ought to be as far as the kind of agency that they give the player when they purchase the game. So that's my thing there. I joined back up when D2 was free and I fell in love. I invested a lot of money, a lot of time into it. I have my complaints just like everyone else. What was the main thing that made you fall in love with Destiny 2, Dak? Thanks for being a ninja. Nice to see you back, Stuck. Thank you, ninja. It's been busy at work, that's why I've been lurking the last few streams. Well, hey, the lurk is appreciated. I'm grateful you're here, man. I hope work is good busy. I stuck with Halo as long as Bungie was part of it. Halo 4 was the last Halo I enjoyed. After 4, I felt Halo just got bad. Reach was the best, so I can get back to it. You can still do it on Xbox through the Master Chief Collection. I loved Reach, yeah. I didn't play Halo 4. I'm one of those people that I felt like the story was over. And that's probably not fair. But that's what I felt. I think I'll go back to Halo with Infinite. And I tried 5 and it was okay. I still love Halo as a franchise. You know, it's not like I thought Microsoft or 343 were greedy. I just felt like that was the end of the story for me. And I was ready to see what Bungie could produce. And of course, oh hey. You and I have both had our experiences with Destiny since then. Bungie's doing interesting stuff now, though. Destiny's become a real franchise with breaking away from Activision, getting on Steam, going free to play. Like, it's on a whole nother trajectory now that I can't speak on. I was there at launch for D2. It was Destiny 1 all over again, and I had spent, as I say, $135 on it, and I was done. And they'll never get me back. They'll never get me back. I'm making my stand on that. I don't care how good it gets. Good for them, and I respect the people that play it. And I'm glad they've been able to transform that title. But after 5 years and $400 or $500, I can't go back, ever. I feel ripped off. And once you feel ripped off, it's tough to ever trust them with your money again. And it sucks because I guess if I had experienced Destiny 2 now, I probably wouldn't feel that way. Because it sounds like they've transformed it again, but it was history repeating itself. Destiny 1 released, as you played, Dak, in really bad shape. Really rough, really interesting though, because it was a new IP and they were really ambitious. So in many ways, it was revolutionary. Vault of Glass, that was the first time we had that kind of content on a console. And, you know, outside of Phantasy Star Online, but really Vault of Glass was its own thing. So Destiny, in many ways, was a breakthrough title. And it was like that. And I love ambition, so I'm cool with it. And it, of course, evolves into this really amazing title that you always feel compelled to play. And then when they relaunched with Destiny 2, they made all the same mistakes again. They rushed the story development, they rushed the DLCs, and they released 2 overpriced expansions, Curse of Osiris, and the other one I didn't even play, maybe a little bit. I played up through Curse of Osiris, though, in the raid annexes. And then they, you know, we're gonna fix everything. And they had all these posts, and there was so much community backlash, and it really felt like dark days. And I thought there was finally gonna be a real change. But it was, you know, give us time, we're gonna fix shit. But in order to receive your fixed product, you gotta buy the expansion, the $40 Forsaken, whatever. I think it was Forsaken at that point. And it's like, this is bullshit. This is the same thing they did the last time. They had us buy all these so-called expansions that were not even DLC for Borderlands as far as content was concerned, and they were twice the price of what Borderlands was asking, and then they make you pay to have the game fixed. To access the game they sold you and promised you, you have to stick with them for a year and then let your yearly bloodletting go through. And I still feel like they do that to a degree. You know, if you really want to be involved, you gotta buy these expansions. And I would rather just have a damn subscription. Because at least that's honest and straightforward. It costs money every year to play Destiny the way that it's meant to be experienced. Just do that. Who are you? Trashland forever. I thought gunplay music community is what made me fall in love with D2. I bought Curse Warmind for a second, did nothing but play it like every day for weeks. I can agree with that. Shadowkeep was a lot of hype for a little delivery. It just felt it's empty. Yeah, I didn't get through Shadowkeep. I didn't get to Forsaken. I was already pissed. Because Curse pissed me off. That's a $35 expansion. And it was an area? Like, the opening area of this DLC is already bigger than that DLC. And... oh god, they released their new version of Trials of Osiris, which was ass. The Trial of the Nine. It sucked because Trials was amazing. That was my big thing, was like every week you gotta do the trial and going out and getting raid gear and getting the gunsmith quest and experimenting with guns, doing strikes, trying to get the Hopscotch Pilgrim, trying to get the Grasp of Malik. Whatever it would take to have that slight advantage in PvP or to have some gun that you really felt that you could handle well. That was a loop that I loved. It was a loop I loved later in Battleborn as well. And it wasn't there because Trials of the Nine was a weird